Am I audible? Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
So Badgi sir said that he will continue the class.
No, he's not going to continue because he was not aware that I'll be taking his class. I guess he did not see the message.
Okay.
Okay, I'll ask him to put the message saying that he is not continuing with the class. Okay, just give me 1 minute. There's some problem with the screen. Yes. Okay. So there are fair number of students who have joined. Okay, I'm taking HR analytics class. So those who have not opted for HR can log out. In case you felt that it's Badgi sir's class and you've joined, please you can log out. Okay, I've already sent you the email ID today. Okay, though it was delayed too much, but I have sent it. Please send the assignments which you have already written to that email ID by 4 p.m. today. Okay, so immediately after the class, please send me the email, send me the assignments, not the practical component. Practical component, you can do it afterwards. At least the assignments that you have written so far, I want you to send it before 4 p.m. today. Uh, there are two people, I guess, Swapnil and one more, who has sent me the HR assignments on the banking email ID. So Swapnil and I guess Tejaswini. Okay, please send it to the ID that I have given right now. Swapnil, are you there?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please send it.
Yes, okay.
And guys, one more thing. Okay, I would definitely want to show you how you send emails. Okay, that is not the way to send emails to your professors. You understand? First of all, whenever you write a mail, okay, just give me a second. I'll just open my inbox itself so that I can show you. Okay, first of all, when you write a mail, you don't have a subject. I don't know why. How do you write a mail without a subject? Then there is no body at all in the mail. You don't write anything. You just attach files and send it. There are hardly a few students who have written something like, "Sir, please find attached the assignments," and so on. But most of you, maybe I can say 90% of you have just sent a mail without any subject, without body, which is not acceptable, guys. At this level, at least tend to be an MBA after around only 6 months, and you will be an MBA, and this is not professional. This is not expected from at least you all. Okay, whenever you send a mail to an official mail, these are official mails that you're sending. Whenever you're sending an official mail, please make sure that you write a subject properly. There is a body in your mail. Everything should be there. Okay, you cannot just attach a file and send it. You're not sending a WhatsApp message to someone. Okay, just give me a minute if I can just open that. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm just showing you how you have sent the mail. Okay, guys, I'm sharing the screen. I'll just show you. Okay, I hope you can see the screen now. Okay, first of all, this is my banking account. So Swapnil and Sushmita, you have sent me the HR assignments on banking. So please send it to the HR analytics assignment email ID that I have already shared with you. Okay. Now see here, Swapnil is kind enough to write the subject properly as well as the body. Okay. If you see his mail, yes, dear sir, kindly find the attached 3 PDF below. Fine, fair enough. At least he has written something. Look at this. Shaila, cam scanner. What is this? There is no subject, there is no body. Is this acceptable? See, okay, Rohit has written the subject as well as he has written kindly find attached attachment of assignments. Fine. Uh, Sanjay, again, there is only subject but no body. Okay. Utica has just the subject, but again, no body at all. Okay, and if you see Utika's assignments, it is forwarded message from Sufyan Sayyed. Now, what is that? I really don't know. Is Utica here? Is Utica there?
Sir, she is marketing finance student, not
Sorry,
HR.
sorry. Okay, so basically, Jasvina has not sent the mail at all. I have not received Jasvina's email assignments yet. Okay,
Yes,
then
sir. Sir, I'll be sending it
I'm not
all
asking for
together.
any explanation.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, actually, I'm doing a job to pay my fees.
Okay, fine, doesn't matter. Okay, then see here, Basav
Hello.
Baragali. Now, who is Basav Baragali? Is that a student? I don't know whether they are there. Akshata, see that there is no subject. Preeti, no subject at all. Tejaswini, you have just forwarded the message, forwarded a mail. Okay, this is not acceptable, guys. Whenever you're sending a mail to a professor, an official mail, you have to write the subject. You have to properly write the subject. The body of the mail should be there, and then you basically attach and send it. You cannot just send it as you want. Okay. So next time, if such mails come, please I'm not going to accept such mails. I'm not going to give you any marks for that. Okay. I'll just open HRA also. Okay, there are a few mails that I have received for after I put a message. Okay, if you can see, if you see that also, there is no subject, there's no body. See here, Preeti, no subject, no body. Shrutika, only US and 2KL 19 MBA 30 means what? Is this how you write your subject? Ayman, no subject. Renuka, no subject. Pradnya, there is a subject but no body. Tejaswini, again forwarded. Now forwarded from Renuka. Nunali, only subject, no body at all. Now, is this the way to write your, send your mails, guys? You cannot be so unprofessional when you are writing a mail at least. Okay, please don't do that, those mistakes again. Okay, this is the first time maybe you're saying, I don't know, you might have sent n number of mails to n number of people. Maybe in FM also you have, last semester also you have sent a lot of mail. If this is the way you're sending your mails, being an MBA graduate, after 6 months you will be an MBA, you will be calling yourself as MBA, and if this is the way you're sending mails, then it's really pathetic. Okay, not acceptable at all. So please make sure that henceforth, whenever you're sending mails, any official mail, not only to me, I'm not specific about my email ID and me, but to anyone, any professional mail you send, there should be a proper subject written, there should be proper body, proper salutation should be there, and then you send it. Okay, I want everyone to come in the video mode for 2 minutes and then I'll get started with the class. Everyone to come in the video mode quickly. Rohit, Rangoli, Shaila, and Rohan, please come in the video mode. Rohan, come in the video mode. Rangoli, Shaila. Okay, guys, so I hope you're clear with the instruction as to how do you send the mail. Okay, please make sure that you send it properly. Okay, first time, okay, accepted. But once I have told you, next time if I say if I get same mails without subject and without the body, I'm not going to accept that. Is it clear to everyone? Am I clear on this?
Yes, sir.
I want Rohan in the video mode. Rohan Patil, please come in the video mode quickly. Rohan, okay, if you don't come in the video mode, I have to mark you absent. So please come in the video mode quickly. Okay, fair enough. So I'll be starting with the class. Okay, in the previous class we have started with HR analytics. We tried to understand what is HR analytics, where it is used, and so on. Okay, we just started with the basics of HR analytics. We tried to um, study the tools, okay, the various models, and if you remember, we tried to find out the evolution of HR analytics and analytical capabilities. So today we're going to continue with the same part. Okay, I'll be sharing the screen now. Just confirm if you can see the screen. Okay, yes. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, thank you. So in the previous class, we started with what is analytics. We studied the three levels of analytics. Then we studied how analytics evolved from just descriptive analysis to your predictive analysis to prescriptive analysis. Okay, this was another chart which was in detail, which spoke about descriptive analytics to diagnostic to predictive to perspective and then proactive, which is the future now. Okay, then we also tried to understand the analytical capabilities where we said we need to study the current state, that is whatever is happening right now, we need to understand that. Then we need to understand what is going to happen in future. We have to draw a roadmap based on what we are right now and what is going to happen in the future. To bridge that gap, we need to have a proper roadmap. We need to govern like we need to observe and monitor whatever actions we are taking, whatever processes we are following, whatever steps we are taking, that has to be properly monitored. Then there should be a architecture developed for all the processes and steps that you have taken. There should be a proper architecture which is developed, and then it forms into a vision, that is it converts itself into a process which is followed on a regular basis. So this is how your analytical capabilities are built. Okay, starting from the understanding the current state to developing the processes. Next one is analytical value chain. Okay, now you might have studied the value chain, supply chain. Yes, guys, have you studied supply chain or value chain itself? I guess you had this value chain analysis in strategic management. Zora,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Do you remember studying something called as value chain analysis in strategic management?
No, sir, I don't remember.
Okay, anybody who remembers, or it's not taught at all? Rohan?
It was there, sir. It was also taught.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember, Rashmi, what is this? What was that value chain analysis?
So I don't actually remember, sir, but it was taught.
Okay. See, basically, value chain analysis is at different stages of your processes, how value is being created. That is what value chain analysis talks about. Okay. You have different processes, different steps that you need to follow to achieve a particular goal. So, at every step, every process, at the end of every process, what is the value that you're creating? What is the value that you're adding to the process? That is what value chain analysis talks about. In a similar way, we have the analytical value chain, okay, which basically starts with strategic business plan. Okay, so you have to set a plan. Okay, now to set a plan, you need to analyze the customers. Okay, so strategic business plan is about innovate, produce, sell, and service. So basically, when we talk about a strategic plan, it talks only about these four things. Either you need to you have to innovate things so that your products are acceptable. You have to produce it. You have to sell it, and once you sell it, you have to service it. Okay, so these are the steps that. Okay, who is it? Chat box. Okay, is the entire chain from procurement to product? What is this, Jasvina?
So
Jasvina,
it's
can
the
you
entire
mute and
chain.
speak?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can hear me, sir?
Yes, I loud and clear.
Okay, so it's the entire chain from wherein you get the raw material, you manufacture, produce the product, sell the products. Like take the example of even a flight. In the flight, whatever food comes,
So which
how you will
example
get
are
the
you
best of
which
best
example are you stating?
food on the airlines.
No, no, no. What example of what?
Anything. It can be a product or it can be a service.
Nahi, are example of what?
Huh.
What are you talking about?
So this value chain.
Okay.
So
Which
it's like an arrow. This chain is like an arrow where it have objectives also. And the first part is the product till the raw material till the product, and then it talks about how you move forward in the value chain, like
basically
how much value gets
correct,
added.
correct,
And
correct.
then because of that value, the cost of the product, as you increase the scale, the economies of scale also will be like, if the
No,
product was very costly in once upon a time, but because of continuous processing of the product, due to economies of scale, the amount of the product also will reduce.
correct,
That is
correct.
only value added chain, something like that related to it.
Okay,
I
okay.
remember.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you have mixed two things. You mix the supply chain as well as the value chain analysis in one. But fair enough. But as I said, value chain is
Maybe,
basically,
maybe.
yeah, value chain is basically how much value you are adding at each stage, each level of your production or each level of your process. That is what the value chain talks about. Okay. So analytical value chain is basically it starts with, if you see, there are two parts, that is strategy and execution. So this is about formulation and this is about the practice that you do. Okay, first is you need to understand, you need to innovate because that is the need of the hour. Your product should be different from others, your product should be unique. So you need to innovate. Once you innovate, you have to produce that product. That product is produced, you have to sell that product. Once you sell the product, you have to provide services for that product. Then you need to, once your product is in the market, then you need to analyze the customer needs. Okay, that is price, quality, and service. What is the price that they are looking for that particular product that you have? What is the price that they are looking to pay for it? Okay, that, or they are willing to pay, not looking to pay but willing to pay for it. Then what is the quality that they are expecting, and what kind of services are they expecting? So you need to understand the customer needs. Then comes your operations, like planning targets, process times, product quality, output volume, etc. So that comes under the operations. Then, based on the above things, you have your talent management, where you talk about workforce planning, hiring, deploying, compensating, developing, engaging, and sustaining. So that talks about your human resource management. Okay, then you provide services like workforce and succession plans, higher costs, time to fill, etc., etc. All these things come under your HR services. Then operational outputs. Okay, these are the plans that you do, descriptive and some types, some and part of predictive analysis is what you do here, but here is what you're delivering at this particular stage. The right side of the of the picture talks about the delivery that you're doing. So you're giving HR services, you're giving operational outputs, you're giving customer responses, okay, number of contacted, number of responded, conversion rate, and spend satisfaction level, etc. And then the financial outcomes in terms of revenue, expenses, assets, and liabilities. So this is how the value chain, analytical value chain works, okay, starting from understanding what you want, to predicting what is required, to delivering what is been predicted, okay. So moving from descriptive, predictive, to perspective, that is what is analytical value chain. So are you clear with this analytical value chain? Any doubts in this? Okay, I'll just repeat it again for more easiness for of understanding. You're moving from what is currently there to what is expected, okay, that is planning, okay, that is predictions, then delivery, that is perspective. Okay, so moving from descriptive to predictive to perspective, okay. So from formulation of strategy to execution, that is what value chain talks about. So you have the strategic plan, customers, operations, then your human resource, that is talent management, and then you deliver HR services, operational outputs, customer responses, and lastly you get the financial outputs in terms of profits or losses, okay. So that is what value analytical value chain is all about. So are you clear with this? If you're clear, please give a thumbs up quickly so that I can go ahead with the next part. Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, that is analytical model. Now, how analytical these are not models, okay? These are the steps in developing an analytical model. So what are the various steps that we need to do to develop an analytical model is, first is organize. Now, what are you supposed to organize? Okay, organize the data, okay, because analysis is done on data. So first is, see, you know that there is huge amount of data which is available. Now you cannot take the entire data. It is really difficult to find out something from if you take all the data which is available. So you have to first segregate. You have to understand what is important, which data is really important. You have to segregate that and organize in a manner which can be used for analysis. So first step of developing an analytical model is organizing the data, okay. Second one is displaying the data. Displaying the data in the form of a tabular format, in a form of dashboards, etc. So you have to display the data in a proper format, okay. That is what displaying is. So you have a tabular format where you have rows and columns, okay, you display it in that particular manner. Or you have a dashboard where you display it in the form of a chart or a pie chart or a bar chart or a line chart, etc. That is what displaying talks about, okay. So how are you going to display your data? That is the second step. Third step is relation. So from the data which is available to you, you have to start creating relationship between them. Like you have the dependent variables and the independent variables, then you have also the moderating variables. You try to create relationship between these variables, like how is the independent variable related to dependent variable, how they are affecting one and one, okay. How is the independent variable affecting the dependent variable? So that relationship has to be built or created. Once the relationship is created, next comes you develop a model, okay. Now model may be in the form of an equation used for prediction, okay. Like you do the regression, if you remember. I don't know whether you had it. Did you have the time series analysis, the time series analysis in statistics or business analytics?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and there you have studied y is equal to ax plus b, the linear equation modeling.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
So that
sir.
is also a predictive model which was developed, okay. Y is equal to ax plus b helps you in predicting what will happen in future. Like you take the previous
That
data for 10 years.
future.
Yes, Jaswina.
Yes, sir. Simple linear.
Yes, sir. Simple linear equations, and then you take the equations and mark them.
Yes, yes. So simple linear equation where you try
So
to
on the
create.
graph, no, it was almost the last chapter of statistics.
Did I ask you that? Okay, so linear equation basically talks about the relationship between the dependent and independent variable. If you remember, there, I don't know what examples you have considered, but normally we used to consider demand or price and different years. Let's say year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and the respective demands were given. Okay, and then we used to find out if the demand was given till 2019, we used to find out the demand for 2020, 2021, 22, 23. Okay, that is how we use that equation of, or simple linear equation of y is equal to ax plus b, and found out. Now what was that? That was a model itself. That is a model that was developed. That is a linear model. Then we have something called as an exponential model. Okay, so there are lots of models that you can develop. That is the exponential relationship, logarithmic relationship, or it may be a linear relationship, simple linear relationship. So it can be any relationship that you try to create, and then you develop a model which will be used for prediction. Now once you develop a model, okay, I'll give you a simple example, guys. Okay, this is what we had done in a research paper that we had developed. Okay, or it was a part of the project work also. Okay, I was working with one of the student who was working on stock market predictions. Okay, we tried to use the data of uh, I'll just tell you the study what it was, and then I'll tell you, then you'll be able to relate it to modeling. Okay, the study was all about how the foreign markets, okay, like your US markets, or the European markets, or the German, the Japanese market, or the Chinese market, how they have an impact on the Indian stock market. That is what we wanted to analyze. Okay, so after doing the regression and ANOVA analysis, ultimately we came up with an equation. Now that equation helped us to understand what would be the market on the basis of the other stock markets, like your Nasdaq and your Nikkei, or it might be the DAX of Germany, etc. Okay, so if the prices of these three are this, then what would be the NSE price? What would be NSE at? Okay, that is what we understood. That is what we tried to predict. Okay, and then we came up with an equation which had a constant number, and then every stock exchange had its own weightage, and then we tried to predict it. Okay, that was modeling that we did using a regression analysis. But later evaluation was, what we did is we tried to use the data till December 2019. Okay, the data was till December 2019, and we already had the actual data of 2020, January 2020. We had the data with us. Now what we did is we tried to predict the values of January 2020 using our model. Okay, now our model gave some values for each and every day, and there were actual prices available. Now what we did, we tried to find out what is the deviation. Okay, so whatever is the actual values, and what were the values that our model gave, we try to find out the deviation between these two values. That is evaluation. Okay, so you evaluate when you once your model is developed, you try to evaluate whether your model is working or no. Okay, whether your model is giving the exact values or no, that is what you need to evaluate. So that comes as the last stage of analytical modeling, that is evaluation, and which is very important. Okay, we call it as evaluation, sometimes we call it as verification. Okay, so these things have to be done. Once you develop a model, you cannot just say that I have developed a model and that model is invincible, it's perfect. No, you have to prove that it is perfect. So you have to prove whether your model is working or no. Okay, so that is what validation. Okay, we can call it as validation also. You're checking the validity of that particular model, so that is called as evaluating. Okay, so first you organize the data, then you try to display the data in a particular format, whether it is a table row format or it's a chart. Then you try to create relationship between the various variables in the data. Then you try to create a model based on the relationship that you have done. In the third step, you try to create a model, maybe a equation or maybe a again, there might be n number of ways of developing a model. Let's take a simple thing as an equation, okay, a linear equation, exponential equation, or any other equation that you wish to have. Okay, so you develop a model, and then once a model is developed, you try to validate the model or evaluate the model, whether your model is working or no, or whether it is giving exact results or no. That is what you do in the evaluation stage. Okay, so are you clear with these 5 steps involved in analytical modeling? If yes, give a thumbs up quickly, guys. We are just left with 8 minutes. Okay, guys. Okay, fine. So let's move on to the next one. Now, typical applications. Now we know how to develop a model. What are its uses? What are the different types of models? We have studied all these things. Now let us understand where it is used, or where are we going to use it. Okay, as an HR individual or an HR professional, where am I going to use these models? First one is employee retention. So in employee retention, basically, we try to have data on in case of the data relating to, let's say, the attrition rates, data related to the satisfaction levels, data related to interview data, okay, or related to performance, etc. So we try to collect all these data, and then try to find out, okay, the how can I retain the employee. Okay, so whenever I'm talking all these things, I'm considering all the three, that is descriptive, predictive, and perspective. See, I try to collect the existing data, descriptive. I try to predict, okay, the employee would stay in the organization or he will leave the organization. That is my prediction. And then if I find out that, okay, he's going to leave the organization, then I go for perspective. That is, I try to find out how should I um, hold him into the organization. How should I make sure that he doesn't leave the organization? So that is what employee retention talks about. Second one is employee performance. Okay, you can definitely have data related to his past performance. Okay, try to find out what is the improvement, what is the growth in the performance, where that particular employee is lagging. Okay, what are the areas where he need to improve upon. You can find it out. Predict what is required in future, what are the various skills that that particular employee may require in future, with respect to the job that he is doing, okay, or he will be doing in future. Prediction, and then taking actions in terms of maybe training him or developing him in and improving his performance. Okay, so when I spoke this, I spoke most of the points over here. Okay, but fine, that is what performance is. That is how you help an employee to improve performance using analytics. Next one is recruitment. When to recruit, whom to recruit, how many to recruit is entirely based on data. You try to pull out the data of the previous years, try to find out how many people you had recruited, how many joined, from which college you got the best of the people. Okay, so you try to find out that you try to pull out the data and try to find out, okay, I had got the best of the talents from KLE college. Okay, then most of the students from KLE joined the organization. So you know that this is one place where I can go, I can get good employees, and I can be rest assured that they will continue with their job or they will join the uh, organization. That is what, that is how analytics will help you in understanding or in taking recruitment decisions. Fourth one is development. I spoke about development in performance itself, like how. Yes, Rashmi, please go ahead.
No, sir, it was by mistake.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I was talking about development. Okay, so when development is basically how do I develop a particular employee and then improve his performance. So when I was speaking about point number 2, that is employee performance, I also touched upon employee development in terms of training, etc. Okay, so I don't think that is again I need to explain that. Okay, development is basically understanding the skills, what he has, what is required in future, and taking actions to give him those, provide him those skills and develop his skills basically. Okay, or develop his competencies. Okay, next one is employee engagement. Okay, employee engagement is the various activities that HR undertakes, so that the employees are engaged. Okay, they are connected with the organization, they feel like as a part of the organization, so that is called as employee engagement. So what has been done in the past, what is expected in the future, and what you have to do. Okay, so in terms of employee engagement, so there were some activities that you did for employee engagement, but they have failed in the past. So data shows it. Okay, you have the data which says that, okay, these activities were done, and out of these, okay, 1 2 3 activities were good, 5 6 7 activities were not good, did not do any well, and maybe the 9 10 activities were average. So you have got that data with you. Now you decide, okay, what is required now, or what should be what will be required in future. Accordingly you change. Okay, okay, these were good, they have given you good results, so you continue with those. The 5 6 7 were not good, they were not at all useful, you drop them out. You come up with some new engagement activities and try to engage the employee, keep the employees engaged in the organization. That is how, again, HR analytics helps you in employee engagement. Last one is developing compensation plans, very important. Okay, the most important thing about HR is compensation. Okay, because your success depends on how many employees stay in the organization, how many employees are able to achieve the goals of the organization, and everything boils down to one thing, that is compensation program. So how are you developing your compensation program? Preferably your compensation program should be based on the data that is available. Okay, it should be purely quantitative rather than qualitative. Okay, so as much as your compensation plan is related to quantitative terms, the more better it is. Okay, it proves to be better when it is more quantitative rather than qualitative. Now I'm not I'm not disagreeing saying that quality is also important. Yes, qualitative factors are also important, but when your compensation plans are based more on quantitative terms, it gives more transparency. When it talks about quality, then okay, again there is partiality in terms of the team leaders or the managers favoring a particular person, etc., etc. But when it comes to quantity, there is no question of favoritism. You have, okay, you have this is the number, this is what you get, this is the number, this is what you get. Okay, that is how you can justify the compensation plans, okay, or the appraisal plans, if it is quantitative. If it is qualitative, then there are chances that people would not be satisfied, the employees would be dissatisfied, and there are chances that uh, the attrition rate increases. Okay, so that is so your compensation plan should be based on maximum quantitative data which is available in the past. On the basis of that, you need to have develop your compensation plan, and a bit of portion of qualitative terms is also important, but maximum should be your quantitative terms based on the data which is available. Okay, so guys, we are left with less than a minute, so I don't want to start with the next one, that was predictive analysis. Okay, so we'll do that in the next class. Right now, just if you have any doubts, you are free to ask me those doubts. If you're clear, please give a thumbs up so that I can stop the meeting. If there are any doubts, please feel free to ask those doubts. Need not be in a hurry to show me the thumbs up and I close the meeting. Okay, guys, so I guess you're clear with whatever has been taught. Okay, so in the